In a world utterly obsessed with what the eyes can see, where every moment is judged by its visual appeal, there lived a man who saw farther, deeper, and truer than any of us. He saw through the darkness, a darkness that had claimed his sight but could never touch his vision. His name was Adrian Hale, and this is the story of how a blind man taught the world to see again. Adrian's world went dark when he was 12. A sudden illness, a cruel twist of fate, and the vibrant colors of his childhood faded into an endless black. The world, as he knew it, was gone. For many, this would be an ending, a reason to retreat, to surrender. But for Adrian, it was a strange and terrifying new beginning. He was forced to navigate a world that was no longer made of shapes and light, but of sounds, textures, and feelings. While others saw the brilliant hues of a sunset, Adrian learned to feel the warmth of the fading light on his skin. While others watched the graceful dance of a ballerina, he sensed the powerful rhythm of her movements through the vibrations on the floor. Where others saw faces, smiling or frowning, Adrian learned to hear the untold stories carried in the subtle tremors of a person's voice, the tempo of their breath. His world wasn't less, it was just different. It was a world of pure sensation. One day, rummaging through old boxes, his fingers brushed against cold, smooth metal. It was his father's old film camera. He remembered the satisfying click it made, the scent of the darkroom chemicals, the magic of an image slowly appearing on paper. Most people would have dismissed it as a useless relic for someone who couldn't see. But Adrian held it to his ear, listened to its mechanics, felt its weight in his hands. An idea, wild and impossible, began to spark within him. What if he could still capture the world? His first attempts were, by all conventional standards, a disaster. Blurry shots of the floor, overexposed images of the sky, pictures of nothing at all. People around him, even his supportive family, gently tried to steer him away. Adrian, maybe this isn't practical, they'd say, their voices laced with pity. But they didn't understand. Adrian wasn't trying to see like them. He was learning to see in his own way. His camera became an extension of his senses. It wasn't a tool for sight. It was a tool for listening. Modern technology offered him some help, of course. A special camera that translated light levels into audible beeps. A soft whisper in his earphone telling him when a subject was in focus. But the real guidance, the true magic, came from his heart. He learned to listen to the energy of a room, to feel the emotional temperature of a moment. He wasn't just taking pictures. He was capturing feelings. He started on the streets of his city. He'd stand for hours on a corner, not looking, but listening. He heard the frantic, hopeful rhythm of a street musician's guitar, the melody filled with dreams of a bigger stage. He didn't see the musician's worn-out clothes or the coins in his case. He felt the pure, unadulterated passion, and he captured it. The resulting photograph wasn't just a man with a guitar. It was the soul of music itself, raw and powerful. He photographed a young mother on a park bench. He couldn't see the dark circles under her eyes or the frayed hem of her coat, but he heard the gentle, rhythmic patting on her baby's back, a sound of unwavering love and protection. He sensed the immense weight of hope she carried in her tired arms, a silent promise to this tiny new life. He clicked the shutter, and the image he created wasn't one of poverty or struggle, but one of profound, unbreakable, maternal strength. Adrian was capturing truths the rest of us, with our busy eyes, consistently overlooked. He started sharing his work online, anonymously at first. He didn't mention he was blind. He simply posted the images with captions describing what he felt in that moment. The sound of hope, the rhythm of loneliness, the warmth of a shared secret. The response was immediate and overwhelming. People were stunned. His photographs had an emotional depth, a raw honesty that was unlike anything they'd seen before. Art critics and photographers were baffled. Who was this mysterious artist who could cut straight to the heart of a moment? The intrigue grew until Adrian knew he had to reveal himself. The revelation sent shockwaves through the art world. A blind photographer, it was impossible, a gimmick, a fraud. The praise turned to suspicion, the odd to doubt. How could a man who sees nothing create images that made everyone else feel so much? The debate raged, but Adrian didn't engage. He just kept working, letting his photographs speak for themselves. His growing fame, or infamy, led to an invitation to the world's most prestigious photography competition, the Global Lens Awards. It was the Mount Everest for photographers. Thousands of professionals from around the globe submitted their most technically perfect, visually stunning work. And then there was Adrian, the blind photographer. Many in the community saw his inclusion as an insult, a publicity stunt. The pressure was immense. He wasn't just representing himself. He was representing an idea that seemed to defy logic. The night of the final judging was electric. The grand hall was filled with the world's greatest visual storytellers, their eyes sharp, their equipment state-of-the-art. Adrian stood on the massive stage, a small, quiet figure in a sea of skepticism. The theme for the final, live-judged shot was strength. A model, a woman with a story of her own, walked onto the stage. She was a single mother who had overcome incredible hardship. The other photographers sprang into action, their flashes popping like fireworks. their lenses zooming, trying to capture the perfect angle, the perfect light, the perfect visual metaphor for strength. Adrian stood perfectly still. He closed his eyes, a habit he never lost, and just listened. He ignored the chaos of the flashes and the whispers of the crowd. He listened for her. He heard the soft, steady rhythm of her breathing. He sensed the quiet, unshakable dignity in her posture. He didn't see a model on a stage. He felt a warrior who had fought countless battles and was still standing, tall and unbroken. He slowly lifted his camera. The whispers in the audience grew louder. What is he doing? He can't possibly. He aimed not with his eyes, but with his entire being, pointing the lens toward the source of that incredible, resilient energy he felt radiating from her. He waited. He felt the exact moment when her quiet pride, her history, and her hope all converged into a single, powerful feeling. One click. The sound was tiny in the vast hall, but it echoed like a thunderclap. One moment, one story. When the final images were projected onto the giant screen behind the stage, the hall fell silent. The other photographs were beautiful, technically flawless. They showed muscles, determined stares, powerful poses. They were pictures of what strength looks like. Then Adrian's photograph appeared. It was different. It wasn't a full body shot. It was a close-up of the woman's hands, resting gently in her lap. They weren't manicured or delicate. They were real. You could see the faint lines of hard work, the gentle curve of her fingers, a quiet resilience in their stillness. In the simplicity of those hands, the entire audience felt her story. They felt the hands that had worked tirelessly, that had wiped away tears, that had held a child, that had held a family together. It wasn't a picture of strength. It was the feeling of strength itself. A single person started to clap. Then another. And another. Soon, the entire auditorium was on its feet, the applause thundering, washing over a stunned Adrian Hale. He hadn't just won a competition, he had won over the world. Adrian Hale, the blind photographer, proved something extraordinary to us all that night. He taught us that the most powerful, most beautiful, and most true things in this life are not seen with the eyes. They are felt with the heart. He reminded us that vision isn't about sight. It's about perception. You don't need eyes to see beauty. You just need a heart that refuses to stop feeling. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more stories that inspire. We'll see you next time.